You never thought about moving to Italy yourself?
Oh, no, I have. I probably will this year. Yeah, I have. It's just life.
Altro manca? Signora? Vederci. Ah, ok. Bravo, sai che non me lo ricordo. Prosecco. No, non ce l'ho. C'ho crema.
I'm Wendy Holloway, and this is Flavor of Italy, sharing the very best of Italian food and wine, lifestyle, and culture. This is Wendy Holloway with Flavor of Italy, and today I'm here with Kathy McCabe from Dream of Italy. And Cathy founded Dream of Italy in 2002. So we're talking about almost a quarter of a century ago.
Stop. I was a child when I started it.
It's true. Ah, it was founded originally as a travel magazine and membership website. And it was sort of inspired by your chats with your grandpa and his ancestral home. Right on that?
Well, I went back to find his ancestral hometown, and that was inspired by him. And that I found the town, which had been his lifelong dream, and 36 hours later, he died.
Oh,
So it was very,
gosh.
very, very metaphysical. Like, I feel like he left me with Italy.
Yeah.
It had been his dream. He had been to Italy, but he hadn't been able to find the town, and he was 93, and my mother and I found the town. So that was my first trip to Italy, and since then, I've been obsessed. I can't stop. I don't know how to stop.
Well, yeah, it's your heritage, Italian heritage on just one side, or
I'm Irish and Italian, a very popular Northeastern combination in America.
Absolutely is. I can't tell you how many Italians I know who, let's say, because of like working in mines and stuff, ended up in Pittsburgh, is where I'm originally from. And then they end up marrying an Irish person.
Yes.
And
yes.
Yeah, there's that Catholic tie or whatever, but yeah, it's a very common thing. So did you end up finding relatives in your hometown?
Yeah, it's very funny. Many people in the town have my mother's maiden name. And if you have this name, you only come from this town. They were actually Norman invaders more than 1,000 years ago. So we definitely met people with the family name. And then years later, I went back to film an episode there, and we found the most direct cousin that I have.
That's fun. That's like super fun.
Yes.
So you started this off as a travel magazine and membership website. And gosh, I just don't know where to start on what it's expanded into, but you've ended up doing some fabulous PBS, like public broadcasting shows. And I think you're in a third season with that, if I'm
We did 3 seasons and 2 specials. So the next one will be either with the 4th season.
Okay, but then you also created like a year and a half ago a Dream of Europe.
Yeah, a PBS series on Europe with sort of the same formula.
Okay.
Which was a lot of fun, which was a way I love Europe. My major in college was European studies, to also see these other parts of Europe and tell stories in a similar way. We went to like Malta, Albania, French Alps, London, Greece. And so that was a really exciting experience to use these skills on other places. But Italy is my heart.
I was just say that was sort of like a diversion and a one.
It was in a sense.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so you sort of a podcast, you do some episodes when
very sporadic,
when you're inspired sporadically, and you have YouTube. So that's something that I think you're maybe a little bit passionate about. And
well, all the PBS series and specials are on YouTube, and then they're all cut up. So you could, if you just want to see the one segment where I do this or the one segment where I do that. So that's sort of the hub of all the video content.
Oh, okay. So the PBS has moved into the YouTube in part.
It still airs on PBS.
Yeah.
It's aired. So the first season, 11 years later, still airs on PBS streaming, all of that. But it's also available on YouTube because YouTube allows it to be available internationally.
Exactly. For example, I would never be able to see the PBS.
Yeah.
So that's nice. That's a great thing about YouTube. And so you mentioned to me before we began recording that you're still very travel focused, and we'll talk about some of the travel focuses that you're especially interested in now. But you're also interested in more on living in and moving to Italy. And that seems to be a pretty big thrust.
Well, I was way ahead of my time because we did a special in 2021 about this, about moving to Italy. And actually, we had filmed it in 2019, but it was a delay in airing it because of COVID. So we did a whole special, Travel, Transform, and Thrive, about living in Italy, moving to Italy. And I think post COVID, not even just post COVID, it's the last year. It's like the Wild West. And I don't know how I feel about it because it's a lot. It's a lot of people moving. Some are informed, some are not informed. Some have an idea of Italy, some do not. And even though the name of my show is Dream of Italy, I do try to give a realistic view as well of Italy and what it is to live there, because it's not all dreams and rainbows and uniforms. We do a lot more. So whereas we were just travel, we also do like where to live, how to retire. I am a huge fan of extended stays where you don't really have to move. You go for 3 months. We did a great magazine issue on that, sort of like there's a study abroad, adult study abroad, or different programs to integrate into the community too.
So, but you never thought about moving to Italy yourself?
Oh, no, I have. I probably will this year. Yeah, I have. It's just life. I had parents to take care of, COVID. And then when you run a business and the production is in the US, it's not like, oh, let me go live full time in Italy. It's not I have business interests here in the US. So yeah, I will be living in Italy soon.
Yeah, but maybe some here, some there.
Yeah, maybe. But I think I'm try to do most there.
Okay. And do you know what area attracts you?
Well, I'm close to the honing down. Well, it's very difficult because I love Milan and Torino, but I am very, very sensitive environmentally. And I don't know if you do when you go, I can feel the air pollution very heavily. So I have a hard time breathing. So I still love those places. And I've thought about Milan. I love it will probably be Emilia-Romagna or Tuscany. And it's not that I don't love the South. Maybe if I retire, which I probably never will, I would go to the South. I just have a lot of friends in the North and the Central. There's a little more action for the work that I do. So I'll let you know when I figure it out.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. That's great. So Rome.
And where do you live? Again, you live in Rome?
I live in Rome. Actually, if I could like move my computer around, which I can't, we live in the countryside north of Rome, but there's an extended metro. So I'm in
that's perfect.
Part of Rome in like 18 minutes, and I can see St. Peter's Dome from our property.
That's perfect. See, I'm looking for that perfect mix. I'm really starting to think more about that. And we're doing a new magazine issue on where to live. And I'm interviewing people and always thinking about my own situation too.
Yeah.
And when I was in my 20s, I really, really wanted to live in Rome. And it's not that I still don't. I do find it a little, and I say this as a person who loves big cities, like a little overwhelming.
Yeah, it can. And that's why we sort of have this compromise thing where we can, on an extended metro, be in the center. But when I get back and have our pool in the mountains and this thing.
Yes.
The advantage, and I would say this even to listeners who might be sort of following you on this move to Italy side, that it's nice to have a community where there are a lot of expats so that you have contact with other Americans. I've been here 42 years, but I do still enjoy that. It's like, it's like your family, really. You're born into it. It might not be everything, but yeah, you love it.
I encourage people for that too. I think you need to have both. And it's a softer landing if you have some expats around.
Absolutely, it is. So that's one of the things that you're focusing on now. And you've done one of your travel books are all digital. Is that correct?
No, they're print as well.
They're print as well. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. And then you had mentioned to me that you're very interested in health and wellness as it pertains
Mhm.
to Italy. Tell me about that.
Yeah. Well, I think the Italians really exceed at a longevity. And this was part of the special we did in 2021 as well. Like the essentials of Italian life, community, family, the land, food, movement. There's all kinds of scientific data about how the Italian lifestyle is one that promotes longevity and one that promotes good health. And I've experienced it myself with my own sort of health issues and really getting healed or feeling healed in Italy, but also just simply, and it is so true, the food alone. I've been back. I'm going back again in a couple months, but I've been back for like a month, and all the food I look at in America makes me sick to look at it. And it's just because of the chemicals, the genetic modification, the glyphosate. It is such a difference to
Yes.
eat Italian food. It is staggering. And so I'd like to move more into doing more of this content. And we have done it, but it's my personal interest as well. I love hot springs. I think the terme are extremely healing and important. I think Americans and people all over the world are deeply missing minerals in our bodies. And whereas when you're in Italy, when you're soaking in that water, when you're drinking the water that still has minerals in it, when you're eating the food that still has minerals that have not been stripped out of it, I think it makes a tremendous difference in health. And then there's just the lifestyle and the community and friendly people. And again, Italy's not always a dream. Not everyone is friendly, but a lot of people are friendly. There's a lot of generosity, and people really still behave as part of a community in America where we're so fragmented and angry. So it's very difficult.
Yeah. Yeah. On the water thing, for example, we live in the country and we don't really drink the tap water
Right.
necessarily. But my husband goes out and fills up all our water bottles from the next town over, the spring water, which
Yeah.
I love. And our
Yeah.
dog, we were talking about my dog before,
Yeah.
he wasn't feeling great. And I said, Maurizio, I think we better start giving him spring water
Yes. Oh,
as
yeah.
well, so it's
Yes,
back in fine form. And I think it makes a difference.
it does.
Yeah. And it's true what you say about the food, because sometimes when I'm talking to relatives who might be visiting this is so good. It's so much better than what I make at home. What's in it? And I hear myself saying the same thing over and over. It's like, well, it's olive oil, it's pepperoncino, it's this, but it's those same basic ingredients, very minimalist, but good quality everything. Our olive oil comes from our olive trees.
That's a big part of it too, like just the proximity, the KM0, the even energetically, it's like your land, your what you're producing, and I think it makes a big difference.
Yeah, yeah. And then the other side of the whole health and wellness is the social component. And
Yes, huge.
it's huge. I mean, we go for a coffee in our neighborhood town, and all the older people are like sitting on like a stone bench and talking to each other, but the knee are always along for the ride with every social thing. So there's no isolation. Some people do end up in a care facility, but mostly that care facility is home. And
Family,
yeah,
yes. It's
So
beautiful.
yeah, so that's great that you're doing that. And then you mentioned the springs, and one of the places that's in your winter most recent newsletter was Bagno Vignoni,
Yes.
which
Yes.
is
My favorite, yes, I love Bagno Vignoni. My favorite Saturnia, but Bagno Vignoni, it has incredible waters. There's a long history there, but the views from those pools, the views of the Val d'Orcia, which the Val d'Orcia is truly one of the most beautiful places on earth. Period. End of story. And so Bagno Vignoni and the hotel there, which is fantastic. If you have the chance to stay there, you could also you could also go for the day. It's just when you're in the water and looking at those views, that's also very healing, the
oh,
beauty.
absolutely. Yeah. And we do a few little tours that are passion tours, and one of them is Bagno Vignoni. That's even a day trip, do the bath and
Right.
then go to Montalcino and have the Brunello wine. And yeah, it's
Yes,
a great area. Picture.
it is.
Yeah. So
It very much
I'm
is.
glad to see that that was one of the features. And then some of the other areas that you're talking about, the Marche is
I know. It was so funny what I was looking at last night, some message board about Marche. And the Italians and the Americans debating, do you put the le before Marche? Is it Marche? Is it le Marche? And oh my God, it was making my head hurt. But I checked with the regent for our purposes. We called it the
yeah, Le
Marche.
Marche. Yeah, because it's a
Yes,
word, it's a plural, it's le.
right.
How do you say it in English? I'm not even sure I know.
Either the Marque or Le Marque, but they were just debating whether
Yeah.
you just leave the whole le off and call it Marque. Regardless, it's just one of those. I had been many years ago, but I had the chance to revisit last June. And it really is like the Italy I fell in love with of 20, 30 years ago. It really is the real deal. And I saw very few Americans when
Changing a bit. Yeah.
it's changing. People are buying, but those days when I was there, it was not just overrun, which I feel, for instance, Florence, love Florence. Don't know if I would think about living there though. It is just packed with expats. Not that that's a good or bad thing, but just I like to just be a little bit outside of all that.
Mhm.
So I think it's a really great region for people who've been to Italy and are looking for a new place to go. You've got the sea, you've got someone in this chat group I was in yesterday was renting a house in Offida, which I think is one of the most beautiful, coolest towns I've ever visited. It's one of the Borgo più belli, and they used to make lace, and it's just a beautiful town. And you have the mountains and you have the sea. You have that combination. So I think there's still a lot of Italy left for people to
Oh,
discover.
yeah, most definitely there is. Really in every region as far as that goes.
Yes.
If people came out where I live, which is beautiful, it's Rome, but it's not at all.
Right.
It's another world. So, and whereas in the United States, I think you've got city and then you fade into suburbs, and that it takes a while to get to the country. So
Right.
we are in the city center and then we're with the cows.
Right.
So that's another nice aspect as well. So, what is your top thing that you're involved in now?
I just always have a few things going on. So I still run this magazine and have for 23 years. We have 210 issues. So it's like the most complete library of authentic Italy travel advice. We're going to launch a Substack, which I've been meaning to do for years, but it's a
You
great.
did have a Substack, Kathy.
Well, I did a personal one.
Okay.
This will be Dream of Italy. This is like, so I'll keep that personal one, but much more informally. And this will be Dream of Italy, where we can share on a more real time basis. Like people can get information right away. Like the articles are emailed automatically. So that will be coming out in the next week or two.
Oh, so
and
it's
sort of
really a brand new initiative.
yeah, but it's a lot of repurposing content, but it's a place for me to write. Like I want to write some behind the scenes content, maybe do more with the health and the wellness content and so it's and bring it to a new audience too, because something like Substack, you have new people who discover the magazine, the show as well.
So what else would you like to share that are things that you're involved in? I know, so you have this magazine and you subscribe to it, and you do have on your website, which I'll share in the show notes, information on travel. So you help people get set up. You don't.
Yes, we have a service.
How you do that?
Yeah. So no, it's basically like I felt like, oh my gosh, I'm leaving them not completing the circle. So I have a few travel planners I trust with my life. And if somebody wants to book a trip, we really mostly do 4 and 5-star travel. You have to pick a lane, and that's mostly our lane. We do it as packages. So you tell us where you want to go. And I work with the travel planner as well to create just those really exquisite experiences, once in a lifetime experiences. One of the ones I work with has lived in Italy more than 30 years. So she knows all the locals, and really putting you in touch with the locals and having that kind of experience. So, and then I think I'm in the process of probably launching a trip. I had done trips before. Then I had parents to take care of and things.
Where
and
you
do the trip.
Run the trip, and
where I run the trip, yes. And so I won't quite announce it yet, but it'll be more in line of the Terme that I love. I'm always at Saturnia.
The hot baths and yeah.
Yes, I'm always at Saturnia, and people are asking me to run a trip there. So that will be part of it. I've been going for like 25 years, so it's time to share it a little more.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't think there's really enough focus on that, because they're great thermal baths pretty much
all over, not just Tuscany.
All over that Montalcino area and down on the Ischia Island.
I've been to the ones in Ischia and then Campania. There's even some up in Emilia-Romagna. Italy is quite volcanic. They're a wonderful experience. But I will say, I think the best, there is something that Saturnia has that no other springs in Italy has. This particular algae, that a particular makeup of the water that I have not found anywhere else.
Yeah, that was one of the first places, even before I was married. So a long time ago, almost 45 years ago, my husband took me there and he said, oh, grab this. For me, it was entirely foreign. Grab this mud, rub it on your skin. I'm like, whoa.
Yes.
It was different, but it's really, they're amazing. They are indeed amazing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. And for the living and moving here, do you then, if someone contacts you and says, Cathy, I need help, I want to move to Campania, or I want to move to Saturnia, what do you actually provide?
So I connect them. So I do 2 things. I connect them with the locals who can help them. So one thing I'm sure you've seen as well, everyone and their mother who has bought a house is now an expert on moving people to Italy. And it's a little concerning, because you can buy a house and have a very different experience buying a house somewhere else. And then a lot of these people who put up a shingle like, let me help you move to Italy, don't even speak Italian. So my reputation, I also work with PBS. I won an Emmy many years ago at ABC News, is that I'm going to give you the best, most accurate information and send you to the experts. So if you're a member, you get access to, we did a course on how to move, and it's with an attorney and a licensed real estate agent. So you really understand all the legal ramifications. I do offer this like consultation with me, Unlock Your Italian Dream. And then I help you maybe decide, I'm very good at everyone else's life, where you might want to live and where you might want to look. And I literally I will find a friend of a friend who bought the house in Bari, set you up with them to talk about what it's like to live in Bari and find the real estate agent and things like that. And it's not to say that there's a lot of property finders who are working in English and things, but I think there's a lot of information out there and a lot of people who are saying they are experts out there and aren't necessarily. So I'm very protective for my members or people who work with me of getting them the real information.
So you're hands-on for that aspect of your business.
Yeah, because I think it's tricky. And I think people will see a place and online and like, oh, let me go buy it. And there's a lot of pitfalls. It's not, you don't buy a house in Italy and resell it right away. It's a different market. And there is I will say there's this Wild West thing going on right now. I think a lot of the prices, this is the real Italy, the American price. There's the American price on a lot of things. And so I just try to inform the people I'm working with to make the best decisions.
Yeah, informed decisions. Yeah, that makes sense. So what's the cost of a membership for someone? And it sounds like
I think it's still really cheap and I need to make it higher. So $87 a year just to get all the digital, and $97 you would get the magazines mailed throughout the year. So I will be raising it because you also get access to 210 back issues. You get the How to Move to Italy course. You get an extended version of our PBS special. There's a lot of benefits.
Okay, so that's the cost. And it really, for example, does that give you the subscription to Substack as well?
Yeah. So what we're going to do is like you get one when you get the other. So we were just tweaking some of the technology on that and how we're going to like cross register each other. And so then that's a ton of information because Substack will be 3 or 4 times a week, just new articles. So it's for people. Definitely we have people who are going for the first time, but most of the people have been already. They're obsessed. They're thinking of what their next thing is, which might be like a multi-generational trip with their families, or it might be moving or looking for real estate, or a lot of people have a bigger dream.
Yeah, indeed. Well, once you're on Substack, we should do a Substack Live and talk.
Oh, yes. Yes. I know so many people are over there and I enjoyed it. I was following it really closely, but I have to tell you, I create information. I love information. There's too much in the world. And I I can't read and look at everything all day. Yeah, you can't even work.
You can't. Yeah.
So it's an interesting time in the world because obviously I've followed media and worked in media for 30 years, like just of how we consume information and how we discern. And that's going to become very interesting as well, including with like AI.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's a whole other world.
Truly.
Well, Cathy, thank you so much. And listeners, I will share Cathy's contact information and her website and Substack. And so if you're interested in any of these things we've been talking about, Cathy, as I was saying in the very beginning, has been in the business for almost a quarter of a century. So
I have to do something big next year. Yeah. I have to do something big.
That will be when you
25 will be next year. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Cathy.
Wendy, it was so great. I'm glad we got to do this finally.
This has been Flavor of Italy. Find us on www.flavorofitaly.com and on Substack, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook, always as Flavor of Italy.